So that was a lot of fun. And I would tell you that's what got me on the Today Show, was that style scale. The application just is amazing. And to have created that and then see how well it applies worldwide, including India, is just amazing. I said to the group last night, we were with just a small presentation group, you have this huge range of dress to work with in your country. You have adopted Western dress, a lot of it influenced from England in the past. But you also have the traditional men's and women's apparel. And it lends itself marvelously to this style scale and the visual communications that come therein. I would not want any of you to lose your appreciation for that traditional dress. I would not want your young people to follow the rebellion of American youth and put down traditional dress for the sake of dirty t-shirts and jeans. I wrote a paper in 1985 called America's Going Down the Tube in a T-shirt. And it's happened. I made predictions then, and what would happen to the entire American fashion industry. It's happened. We've lost virtually all of our American department stores because it's the fashion segment of department stores that carried the store. They've all merged now under one name, Macy's. And even they are in trouble. Well, apart from that. Question number 11 was, if I could go back and do one thing different in my business, what would it be? And I said, if I could go back, I would have studied business, the business end of the image business industry sooner. I am right completely to teach mastery before business momentum. But the business aspect applies to the entire industry's success. And I'm standing here today to tell you that you have an incredible advantage moving into this image industry because of Mr. Agarwal. He brings to you something totally missing from the American component. It was so fun yesterday to get here, and first thing I see is this article, an image consultant adds to your success. And this is in your nationwide newspaper. There's never been anything like this in the States. Never. I've been in a lot of newspapers and so on, and others also. But nothing as concerted and planned and specific as what is happening here in India. The hope that this wonderful couple has for this industry and for you is phenomenal. They've got ideas of ways to support the business end. So many of you here today are like me, a homemaker who's getting into this field and didn't have the business background. But I had to learn it the hard way. Up a lot of nights on my own, studying, a lot of conferences myself and so on. And I'm not there with the business end of it, still struggle. But he comes with this that he's bringing to you, and it's a phenomenal opportunity for you to take advantage of. Now we have to chuckle and not let him get too big a head here. Because between the first time he came to visit me and the second, he told me, I I've discovered there's a lot more to this image business than I thought. Yeah. What we do is not rocket science. It's harder. Some of you have heard me say that. I'm married to a physicist. My sweetheart is a physicist. The only thing we have in common, besides our children, is the fact that both physics and fashion start with But you can guess, he in the hard sciences and me in the soft sciences, I have to pull a one-upman every month now and then, and that's one of them. That what we do isn't rocket science. It's harder. And it's all those variables. I love the comment about anything that's a process will be computerized. To some degree, we can do that. But I like to advertise that you deserve a real person. And you've got to have a brain. Because that client walks in, or you've got that whole wall of people in your seminar, you have to be able to look at any one of them and know exactly what those variables are, what's going on, what to work with, how to work with it, when, why, where, and so on. And you can't just be anybody and do it. What's wonderful, yes, there is a talent to some degree, but it can be learned. And that's what you're here for, is this image education. And that's what I'm all about. High standards in the image industry. The night that I got that Certified Image Master Award, they took me back into a back room where I was congratulated by all of the previous association presidents. And my branding is the most accurate and comprehensive information, image education in the field. But those presidents that night charged me with maintaining and keeping the standards of ICBI high. And so it was just incredibly gratifying for me to see on that screen today the standards that this infant association is dedicated to upholding. That's a huge responsibility for you. So we will all feel heavy laden in that sense. But this business, these questions were what another image consultant in the field felt she wanted her people, her readers, to know. And I just thought it was so interesting that that question, what would I do different? It would be to get the business background that we need to carry us forward into our marketplace. And that is exactly what the Agarwals are bringing to you and this association. Last question, what is the one piece of advice you can give those of us who want to achieve such a level of success in our image business like you have done? And I said I would keep my business fresh and updated by being alert to the processes of social change. By being aware, I've always known what was coming, prepared my market strategy in advance, and have been able to stay ahead of the pack. Literally, hundreds of thousands of supposed image consultants have come and gone since that first NIS conference in 1980. And I'm still here and going strong. So give yourself time. Arunima, who was in one of our batches, the international group, and she said, how long is it going to take to learn all of this? Well, you know, it takes about 3 years for a dentist to really put his practice out there, get it going, to build it. So there's one guideline. Give yourself at least 3 years. Now that doesn't mean you don't start charging right away. We send you out in the field immediately to start doing consultations, but start on one-to-one. I had one come through our program. She wanted to be a high-profile seminar presenter to corporate groups. She already had herself booked for 7 seminars the week she was getting back. And I said, no, don't go, you're not ready. You know, it's one thing to make a mistake with a one-time client and or one-on-one client, and it's another thing with 3 and 5 and 800 people. Her reputation was gone before she even tried to get it started.